Hi, this is Joan Spear Clark. I'm doing a tape on what happens when people shake our confidence, especially our faith. I'm going to start with a prayer. It's from, I thought it was from Surah, it says Surah 113. Allah, Hina Elja, Antaqwa al-Fajr, Amini min Shiri, Bilela, Min al-Mutalan, Min al-Hasidin. And what that is Allah, I seek refuge in you. You are the Lord of the daybreak. From the evil that exists, from the night as it darkens, from those that lure us away from you, from an envier when they envy. And what happened to me recently was a man walked up to me and he asked me if I was married. And I wasn't too sure what he was talking about. I just said no. And then he said, where's God and Jesus? I thought maybe he was being funny. I couldn't tell if he was making fun of me. I know in the past I thought it was, what happened was I became fearful and kind of quiet and depressed. And then I remembered how in the past I used to joke because, well, I'm German and there was World War II where the leadership was mostly intellectualism, the Nazi party, and I was thinking, well, like, where is God? And pointing up to heaven, I always thought of God as being in the sky. So I thought you could joke about it, but the problem is that it's none of the content is really funny. And I've been doing some studies when I'm praying, and I found this sheet of paper that covered family, friends, our city, community, country, and world, documenting. It had questions like, this was covering the month of May to June. This month I will pray for. And what I'm concerned with is, well, I read a book on crime and punishment, and it's complicated how people determine what to do. But most of my concern is capital punishment. It's usually about or how it's related to sin or public endangerment. And so I was studying and surprised to learn that in the world, well, I did a thesis on it in college, the death penalty, and how it made me worry because people are always capable of improvement if they want to. But I was surprised to learn that around the world, all types of ways of terminating a human being exist. That in Iran, Japan, and Malaysia, there's hanging. In Saudi Arabia, there's beheading with a sword, firing squads, and I thought, well, what is there that we have to worry about in the United States? And what I learned was lethal injection was recently questioned and reviewed in Alabama for 4 months, and that in Idaho they decided they wanted firing squads to handle it, that 8 out of 12 jurors could decide how a criminal would die. They wanted to discuss gas asphyxiation, that it's allowed in Alabama. And K.E. Smith was suing it. Apparently he was a criminal. It listed the name Wilson, that must have been his attorney, and it began describing how it's torture, that it's not something that lasts 30 seconds, but it's 22 minutes long. Torture causing shaking, struggling, and writhing. But that K.E. Smith that was suing it, he was executed that way in January 2024 on the 24th. And it said that he had killed a pastor's wife. So also I was wondering what most people are sent to the death penalty over in the United States, and is it drug related and morality? So I wanted to discuss how I was bothered in the past by too much immorality, and now I'm concerned about how to best handle all dogmas, or I'm not sure that's the right term because I didn't know if it included atheism, but there's so many different philosophies in America. What is the best way to handle people when they make errors in judgment? So I wanted to end it with, we're America. Where do we want to head? What direction? When those errors are made? And what environment do we want to leave our children?